I mean, just listen to this. Faffery. Oh God, I've got my key in my pocket. Oh. Oh, that sounds better. That sounds much better. Well, ladies and gentlemen, YouTubers, followers, or 1,000 plus of you absolute legends, welcome back to the channel. So today, here we are. First of all, I've just bought myself a chin mount, so this is now adorned on the middle of my helmet, so be interested to see how the footage comes out on this video. We are now 1,000 miles into ownership of this immense motorcycle, and I'm going to use the word immense because it's immense. We are 1,081 miles in, I think it was, and I've got to say, I really like this bike. So 1,000 miles in, it's had a few choice upgrades. You'll have seen the carbon frame protectors and the swing arm cover covers that I installed. I think it's just mainly, obviously, just for protection should the worst or the unfortunate happen on track. Mainly for that reason, and the fact that aesthetically it looks really good as well. So it's a double-edged sword. Everyone that's been following the channel will know that I had a track day booked in Knockhill, and anyone that follows me on Instagram will also notice that I was at Knockhill with this, and the bike was nothing short of brilliant on track, to be honest. The bike is actually still set in track settings as we are currently riding. It's a little bit firm, I have to say, but as far as the track settings are concerned, all I did was just adjust the preload. A preload on the front, I'll give that another click up for my personal weight, which is 105 kilos. So the front end actually is really good. The rear end, after heavy track use, it was getting a little spongy. Anyone that's got a street triple that follows or is on Facebook, there's a couple of lads that race these in that, and they say that although it's an Olin's TTX rear shock, is it 41 rear shock, whatever the model is, I forget, but essentially, yeah, it gets a bit, the valving in the shock itself isn't that great, so when the oil gets hot, it starts getting a bit spongy, and I can confirm that that was indeed the case. Just starts to squat and wallow a little bit, but it can be fixed, and perhaps I may need a different or firmer spring for my weight, but so far, generally speaking, it's pretty good. And yes, we now have the spark headers and Akrapovic link pipe, and it has totally woken up this bike. This is actually the first run out on it installed. I currently have, what is that, a Genesis? Weird. It's like a Mercedes, I suppose. Essentially, what was I saying? Yes, spark headers and Akrapovic link pipe, and can, obviously. So in my experience, the headers went on very well. I didn't bother with using new gaskets, just to try and save a bit of money, although it's not really best practice. I should have put on new gaskets. I thought I'll have to just try and live with it, but it was fine, it's not been any issue. Seems to be okay. I'll check it after this ride, just make sure the header's still nice and tight, but it's not leaking. I did have to use exhaust assembly paste for the connections on the bottom of the bike. Yeah, they were blowing a little bit, but now so far so good. Ooh, lots of gravel there. Ooh, another on the wrong side of the road. Yeah, there you go, you see. I mean, just listen to this. Ripper! She's a little ripper! That's what a bike should sound like. So yeah, back to track riding. Really, really good. Nowhere near as frustrating to ride around track as the GSXS 750 was, and that's still a fantastic bike. But this is better on track. There's no doubt about it. Straight out of the crate. Brakes are fantastic. I did adjust them slightly. I've still got the front span. I've still got the setting set to 19, and just adjusted the span or lever. And for me, that gives it the best feel of response and braking effort from, well, in my own personal experience and preference. So yeah, that's all good. Brakes are good. The tyres, the super courses have been fantastic. The pressure's cold. Actually, run really quite low. I think the rear tyre low was like 24 or 25. It was running 27. I had it set at 27 hot straight off the track. Generally speaking, it's actually been typically set pretty well. And the front tyre was great. It seems like you just bury that in the tarmac and it's not a problem. Performance wise, it was keeping up with, well, pretty much everything really, apart from Sam Monroe on Rory Skinner's R6. Rory Skinner was there as well. But yeah, I mean, those lads are just in a totally different ball game. When it goes past you sideways, hitting the hairpin with the rear wheel locked up, and chatting to him and says, "Oh yeah, well, you know, you just steer it in on the lock stop." Well, yeah, of course you do, because you know that's what all us mere mortals do. We steer a locked up bike on the lock stop. Yes, quite a different skill set to be able to do that. But yeah, hey, fair play. But yeah, Roy Skinner's R6 was actually, I think Sam was saying, it's like 113 brake at the rear wheel, which is actually what this is doing. Haven't had it dynoed, which was a separate little video. But yeah, 113 brake at the rear wheel. I don't know if that's how accurate it is versus other dynos. They're all different. I don't know when the last time it was calibrated, but I dare say it's not a million miles away. 12% loss through the transmission would give you 128 horsepower. So, but this feels, so far, seat the pants, all of 10 miles. 10 miles on this new full exhaust system installed. The fueling still feels perfect. It does feel more eager to rev up and out through the box, and it does seem more responsive. So as far as performance is concerned, who knows, I will get another dyno run done on it to see what it's actually doing compared to before and after with a full system, and obviously just being box standard. And we can but just wait for tuning on these to become available. And once it is, I will obviously go down the route of getting it fettled to be the best it can be. But I have to say, performance wise, I didn't really, apart from the first session, obviously it's the first foray back out on track after having the GSXR 1000R, which was and still is an absolutely amazing motorcycle, and I do still miss it. Probably more for the outright performance and ludicrous power and performance that it actually has out the crate for a road bike. And the look of it, of course. I still love it. I'm still a Suzuki man through and through, but you know what? This is really, really good, this bike. Triumph have built a GSXR 750, which is essentially what this bike feels like to ride. It's good. Doesn't quite have the top end that the inline 4's got, but I'll tell you what, performance wise around the track, I mean, dipping at the low 58s, nearly a 57 round Knockhill on a standard road bike, not to be sniffed at. So on that basis, I can but be quite happy with this. It's, yeah, first session readjusting. I love that bark it's got. Baffle's still installed, by the way. Yeah, I didn't really find this was too restrictive on track performance-wise. Really, I mean, it kept up with an RC8R, it kept up with the 1299 Panigale V4. Yeah, part of it's the rider, I suppose, but I'm by no means Valentino Rossi. And there's people way faster than me. But I'm happy with 58 to Enoch-Hill. That's pretty good. That's the same speed as I was doing the GSX 1000, and I've got more to come. We're struggling a little bit with the ground clearance, I've got to say. I've made quite a mess of my boots. They'll probably need new boots very soon. Decking my toes out on the track, although I've not felt. I don't see any marks and hero blobs on this, so clearly there is more to come, but I just can't quite get the right position with my feet without decking the boots out, so I need to get a set of rear sets, I think, and just play around with the riding position a little bit, and the suspension. Probably more of an issue with the suspension than the ground clearance, to be honest. Oh yes, this is much better. This gives it the attitude that is so longingly needed. So 1,000 miles in, I can't say I've really had any issues with this bike. It's always started, it's never cut out on me. I know people have had issues with it cutting out when it's been warm, but I can't say I've got any problems. Not had any issues. It's all good. Tell you what, that was a bit firm. Track settings on the road, it does feel really good actually. It is quite firm. I did just take off over that bump there, but oh, what a piece of kit. And I am going to say right here and now that I did love the GSX-R, and I hate to keep going back to it, but this bike, without a doubt, apart from the monkey is the most fun you can have on a 125, without a shadow of a doubt, just for the hilarity factor of it and for what it is. But as far as fun bikes go, this is the most fun bike I've had to ride, along with the GSX S750. But I think as an overall performance package, if you consider the spec of the brakes and all that kind of good stuff, this is without a doubt the most fun bike I've had. It never fails to put a smile on your face, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And at Knockhill, I mean, it was flat out everywhere. Didn't actually really feel like it needed more power, other than down the straights just to keep up the bigger bikes. But you can really read on the brakes and then around the corners as well. So that's half the fun, I think. Which I've got to say, I think I missed a little bit. I think the GSX-R, obviously having more power, it masks holes in your riding. Obviously a little bit overfueling a little bit, it's popping away there. But yeah, I think the good thing about a bigger bike is it doesn't eradicate any other flaws you've got in your riding and speed on track, lines, approach speeds, corner speed, whatever. Because obviously you can just stand it, you can just fire it down the straights, stand it up in the corners, square it off, fire it back out again, and you know, it's a different way of riding compared to this, whereas this is more about flowy lines, stuffing it at the last minute, carrying all the corner speed you can, to make up for the deficit down the straights in speed. Which, to be honest, I think I actually prefer this way of riding. I think it actually teaches you to be a better rider, if I'm honest. Yes, it's noticeably more urgent, without a doubt. It's awesome. I told you this bike was awesome. Oh, it's raining a bit, look. But what a noise. What a note. And it's not too loud either, I don't think. Cruise along, it's fine, it's not overly loud. I think for road use will be keeping the baffle in. It's all the noise it needs. But these track settings, it's so planted on the road. Well, on smoother corners, of course. Interestingly, I've seen a few people fit steering dampers to these, but to be honest, I've got to say, I've not really felt like it's needed it. Even over the straight at Knockhill, the start-finish straight, there's quite a crest there. But this is way more stable than the GSXR was when I had that, until I fit the Ohlins damper to it. But I don't really find this has got any issues with stability at all. I really don't, but right position wise, I found the bars are actually okay as they are, with the obviously being the raised bars. It's not the Moto 2 version, obviously. I knew he was going to do that. I knew he was going to do that, and I thought, nah, he's seen me, and he clearly had not. Idiot. And the quick shifter I think's actually got better with a bit of mileage and abuse. Seems to be pretty accurate, to be honest. Not had any issues with quick shifter at all. This has got a real bark to it. It's my bike, I know it's my choice of exhaust, but I think if I was watching this video, I'd be quite influenced to buy one as well. Because it just sounds incredible. Yeah, well, back to work tomorrow for a couple of weeks, so last little foray out, grab a couple of bits from Tesco and hightail it home. Just go into Asda. Oh, this bike is so good, it's so much fun to ride. Oh my god, it should be, this much fun should be illegal with your clothes on, seriously.